Sponsored by.
In one of the toughest stands since the beginning of the Israel-Hamas war, United States President Joe Biden on Thursday effectively gave an ultimatum to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, asking for an immediate ceasefire and urging it to reach a hostage deal without any delays. Biden asked Jerusalem to protect the Palestinian civilians and foreign aid workers in Gaza or otherwise warned that Washington could limit its support for Israel in its war against Hamas terrorists. The development came during a phone call between the two leaders, indicating a sharp change in the US president's tone regarding his stance in the Israel-Hamas war. Leaders around the world are pressing Netanyahu to end his counteroffensive in Gaza, which has cost the lives of thousands of Palestinian civilians. At the same time, the world has been pointing out Biden's hypocrisy for his unwavering support to Israel by transferring arms while also calling for a ceasefire. The turning point for the US was when an Israeli airstrike claimed the lives of 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers, triggering global outrage. Fortunately, Israel has admitted that the strike was a grave mistake.
Last night, 7 employees of the World Central Kitchen were killed. WCK is an organization whose people work across the globe, including in Israel, to do good in difficult conditions. The IDF works together closely with the World Central Kitchen and greatly appreciates the important work that they do. The IDF completed a preliminary debrief. I want to be very clear. The strike was not carried out with the intention of harming WCK aid workers. It was a mistake that followed a misidentification at night during a war in a very complex conditions.
According to a White House statement, Biden also urged Netanyahu to take decisive and measurable actions to mitigate civilian casualties. The US president, though, said that the United States strongly supports Israel in the face of threats. He did clarify that the US policy concerning Gaza will be determined by assessment of Israel's immediate action in accordance with these directions. Meanwhile, as Israel is tackling threats posed by Iran-backed terrorist group Hamas, it is also simultaneously combating strikes of Hezbollah militants and Houthis, both backed by Iran. In a similar effort, Israel had struck the Iranian embassy in Syria, targeting some of the senior leaders of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The Israel military has beefed up security around the borders for a possible retaliatory strike. Meanwhile, India on Thursday urged Israeli authorities to ensure the safety and well-being of Indian workers who were sent to Israel under a government-to-government agreement to work in the construction sector. The first batch of 64 workers from India left for Israel on Tuesday, and more batches of people are expected to be sent this month. Israeli authorities have reportedly selected more than 9,500 workers through interviews conducted along with the National Skill Development Corporation.
The first batch of people under the G2G agreement have gone to Israel. For us, their safety, of course, is very important. We have urged the Israeli authorities to do their best to take care of their safety and their well-being, which is of prime importance.
The Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal further expressed concerns at the Israeli strike on the Iranian embassy, saying the escalating tensions in West Asia have the potential to fuel further violence and instability. India urged all the parties involved to avoid actions that go against commonly accepted principles and norms of international law.
India is distressed at the escalating tensions in West Asia and their potential to fuel further violence and instability. We urge all parties to avoid actions that go against commonly accepted principles and norms of international law.